before the Danish anchovy and the Slovenian shitter changed cycling forever with their innovative preparations and their attitudes in the race, gathering millions of new fans in the process, there was an almighty team that could win Grand Tours with all kinds of riders, from pistards like the alcoholic Bradley Wiggins to rookies without prestigious victories like Tao Geoghegan Hart. And of course there was the White Kenyan who won a Vuelta a España despite being positive for salbutamol, and who did a Landis in Finestre as the main star of the team. And we must not forget the popular doping doctor, Richard Freeman, as a standard bearer, and those multiple dopers in the team structure, such as Bobby Julich or Sean Yates, who knew how to transmit their knowledge to those noble athletes. And then there are the fallen soldiers who retired from the team in strange health circumstances. Riders such as Vasil Kirienka, Benyat Inchausti, the doper Michael Rogers, or the legendary Peter Kenyuk. We are obviously talking about the mythical Sky Team that was formed so that Her Majesty the Queen of the United Kingdom could enjoy the victories of her subjects during the London 2012 Olympics in the darkest preparation plan of the decade. But now this is a team whose notorious decline in recent seasons has become utterly alarming, despite the fact that it is now owned by a billionaire who manufactures and sells chemicals, and still has a huge budget of €50 million, identical to that of the Rabobank team, and only 10 million less than the UAE Team Emirates of Dracula Gianetti and Dracul Machin and all that dirty money of the Arab sheikhs. As of March the 21st, 2024, the team has only 2 wins this season. One of them the Galician Village Time Trial, in which the times didn't count. And then outfits with far less budget, like Lotto Destiny, Education First, and even the pathetic Movistar, have more wins than the guys who had marginal earnings. Just what has happened? Well, there are 3 theories on this. Let us know in the comments which one convinces you the most. And don't forget, you can always leave a super thanks if you enjoy our videos and don't want to end up forgotten like John Lee Augustin. Theory number 1, Egan Bernal and his accident. At the end of the last decade, Sky was the biggest budget team in the World Tour by far. They signed the most promising youngsters with multi-million-dollar contracts, and of all of them, the Colombian Bernal from the old Druids team was by far the most successful. In his first season in the World Tour, he helped the Pistard and Classico man Geraint Thomas to win his only Tour de France, after having finished second to last 10 years earlier in the doped Barlow world of Moises Dueñas and the White Kenyan. In his second year, he conquered Paris-Nice and the Tour de Suisse, and especially he won the Tour de France, without being able to raise his arms when the decisive climbing stopped, but still, the yellow jersey in Paris is, after all, what counts. It seemed that he was going to be an epocha rider, but injury and bad company and parties with women who kept him away from the path of Christianity and bad management from a British team all made him stagnate, although he did win the Giro d'Italia 2021 rather brilliantly in the rain. But just when he had returned to the fold of loyalty with Maffei Motas and renewed his contract for 4 seasons with INEOS, a horrific training accident almost ended his professional career. 2 seasons later, Eganito has not raised his arms. And although this 2024 season has seen him performing well in races like the Galician Tour, which was dominated by the Anchovy, and he could be top 10 in Paris-Nice, it seems that his level is no longer going to reach the 2 aliens who currently dominate the big stage races. Team management also seems to exploit the Colombian, especially at the beginning of the campaign, without being very clear about what they want to do with him, because Eganito has never been the leader of the team for the British who pay his salary, and they want immediate performance from a little rider, one who was about to die while training for them. The Vuelta a España 2024 will be his last chance to lead the INEOS team in a Grand Tour. We wish him the best of luck. Now, Theory 2. The hardcore of the team got old. In the Tour de France of the White Kenyan and Thomas and Eganito, there was usually always a group of riders surrounding the superstars who exclusively enjoyed the marginal gains, sometimes with premium performances, like lowering the saddle a little bit or putting the water bottle in the right position. We're talking about the near-alcoholic Michal Kwiatowski, who only appears one day a year, at least for the last 3 seasons, but he does remind us that he's still earning close to €2 million per season. The guy who only has time trial victories, Jonathan Castroviejo, the sprinter who isn't fast, Ilya Viviani, or the gregario who no longer climbs like he used to, Luke Rowe, or the mascot cyclist, Cameron Wurf, all of them more burnt out than an old motorcycle, lacking hunger for victories and with no other ambition or pretension than to live off the state's allowances as a large family of peddlers. The only superstar who remains in the team from its beginnings is Geraint, who at 38 was still close to winning a Giro d'Italia and who continues to prepare himself commendably so as not to go back to being that fat man who thrilled Dracula Gianetti at Saunier Duval. But obviously Thomas is not going to win any more Grand Tours, not even any important stages, because he is not an attacking cyclist. But he earns a salary of more than €2.5 million, and even if he performs well, he will never be a real rival to one of the great monsters of cycling. But if those who are of perfect age, like Eganito, are badly managed, and those who are getting on a bit are no longer able to suffer, like Alaphilippe, without being able to drink on a bike, what about the youngsters? Which brings us to theory number 3, Sir Dave Brailsford's disaster. In a cycle sport where kids like Remco Evenepoel and guys between 25 and 29 years old are the main world stars, signing young, promising stars of the future would be a great option towards being competitive again. And in principle, the inexperienced INEOS kids have proven to be good riders. Multi-tool Tom Pidcock has been able to win Strade Bianche and a stage at Alpe d'Huez. Joshua Tarling is already one of the best time trialists in the world before he could even drink a Gordon beer at home. And Carlos Rodriguez has already come close to getting on the podium of the Tour de France after beating the 2 cycling aliens on the descent of the Jouplan. INEOS has good youngsters, but neither they, nor the Hayter brothers, nor Thymen Arendsman, nor Ben Turner, nor Magnus Sheffield, after miraculously saving his life, have made the big leap forward that was expected of them. Is it because they're suddenly bad riders? Has Filippo Ganna suddenly forgotten to ride like a shredder in time trials and on flat stages? No, not at all. The real answer, and what I think is the theory behind the big fall of INEOS Grenadiers, is the utter sloppiness of Sir Dave Brailsford, the man who blew away multiple British Olympic champions, the guy who watched the dope-to-the-gills David Miller win a world championship, the mastermind behind all the marginal gains, and who was evidently acquitted at the Team Sky doping trial thanks to his contacts in the British government and all he knew about the London Olympic plan. That veritable cycling juggernaut has shifted his focus. And although he is still the team manager, his chemistry-playing billionaire friend has bought Manchester United of the English Premier League and hired the sexagenarian Brailsford as sports director. His mission is to improve the performance of the flagging soccer team and to clean up dopers like Andre Onana and drunks like Marcus Rashford, just as he did with Bradley Wiggins in the past. Brailsford has already worked for French League 1 side Nice, but the bold multidisciplinarian is facing a challenge now with Manchester United. He has to bring them back to the fame and fortune of the days of the aggressor Eric Cantona, the whoremonger David Beckham, and the tax fraudster Cristiano Ronaldo. Unfortunately, this is taking time and attention and investment away from INEOS' cycling team, and the results are showing. The youngsters are getting worse. The established riders are stagnating, and the old ones are no longer performing. Maybe the time has come for the popular UK Postal to leave the circus and make way for people with new marginal gains, because someone has to stop the aliens, and INEOS, it's not going to be you.